Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, first of all, I hope everybody had a good Christmas, and I hope everybody's gonna have a good New Year. But, anyways, so today I'm gonna be talking about Uber Eats and what it would take for me to go full time and only go with them. So, first I'll say Uber Eats is not my favorite. I used to do it a lot because when I first started, I did Postmates and Uber Eats at first. At first, I actually did Postmates for a little bit, and then I started doing Uber Eats, which was okay. But then I slowly and quickly realized that it's not the best app for at least food delivery. But, anyways, these are the things that they would have to do for me to go full time. So, the first one would have to be to tell, at least in my market, they need to tell me all the info. In certain markets, they do tell the info, how far the customer is and everything. But where I am in Los Angeles, it doesn't tell me yet. I actually ran into an Uber driver yesterday that does both Uber Eats and regular Uber. And he tells me that once you get to, I think, Platinum or something like that, when it comes to Uber, you get to see the information where everything is. So you get to see how far the restaurant is, how far the customer is, and your pay. So I guess they get the advantage if they do, what's it called, driving too. But I feel like that should be information that everybody should get. Like, it shouldn't just be them. It should be all of us. Like, why do you have to have a certain, status quo where that's when they'll tell you, oh yeah, now we can tell you everything? No. It needs to be in the beginning. We're independent contractors, so we need to get all the information straight up. But that's the way they do it. So they would have to do that for me at least. I need to see all the info like Grubhub and Doordash does. So even Postmates does that too now. It doesn't tell me how far it is, but it tells me, this is where the restaurant is and this is where the customer is. And you can make an educated guess if it's worth it to you. But they would definitely have to do that for me. So, number two would be they need to allow the customer to tip before and let us know before we accept it too. So, most of the time it's a crapshoot. Once you do Uber Eats, most of the time you're just gonna have a guessing game. You're at least in my market, you're not gonna know where you're going. So, your pay might fluctuate depending on how far you're going and everything. But if they had it's like a kind of like a DoorDash thing. If they had like a minimum guaranteed, since the people already tipped, they should tell you that, and then that would help us at least be like, okay, they tipped us $5. It's gonna be worth it for me to go. Even if it's kind of far, it'll be worth it. Or if they tip $2, is it worth it? Like, where am I going? So I feel like they need to let us know that, just like the other apps except Postmates, where they need to tell us how much the tip is so we can honestly take more offers. Like, well, the sad thing is, or at least when I see with Uber Eats in Los Angeles, I feel like almost everybody takes every offer. And then I'm not too sure, like I said, with the driving part, like, some people are, what's it called? They will tell you all the information, but I know there's some that only do Uber Eats. So I don't understand how people can, just do Uber Eats with no information, just the restaurant information. And, like I said, you don't know your tips, you don't know anything. It's just that. You don't get to know that until you pick the food up, which is ridiculous to me. But I would want them to do that for me to go full time with them, allow the customer to tip. So, number three would be if they didn't take us so far. Sometimes it's ridiculous how far they take us. I remember one time, it was a long time ago when I first started doing Uber Eats. Since I didn't know how far I was going, I went to the restaurant, picked it up. It was actually Popeyes, but it was before the chicken sandwiches, so I picked it up or whatever. So when I pressed that I picked it up, it told me I was going 20 miles, I think, and that's pretty ridiculous. And I think I got paid like $12 for that, which is even worse. So that's why I kind of stay away from Uber Eats, only because it's very unknown how far you're going and where they're going to take you. That's why I do enjoy Grubhub and DoorDash more, because they'll tell you, even Postmates, like I said, they'll tell you how far the customer is, or you can make an educated guess how far the customer is, and if you know your market and you know where you're driving to, you'll know it's not too far or if it's worth it or not. But with Uber Eats, like I said, at least in my market, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know how far you're going. So that's not. It's just they need to. They can't take you that far. I know DoorDash and Grubhub sometimes do that too, but at least they tell you the information first. With Uber, they don't tell you the information. But they'll definitely need to lower that and not take us so far, because that's, like I said, that's pretty ridiculous. So they'll definitely need to change that. And then number four would be, it kind of comes back to that. They need to kind of develop kind of a type of regions like Grubhub and DoorDash, because like I said, they'll take you so far. Or it's nice that you can just turn on the Uber app and then you can just start working, but that that freedom also is bad, because like I said, they can take you so far and you will get other orders wherever you're going. But if you don't know the area, you don't know, what restaurant you're going to. What if that restaurant is really busy, or what if that restaurant's super slow? So it kind of just it takes you to the unknown. But if they had regions, even if they were pretty big like Grubhubs, at least you would know, okay, I'm gonna work, around here. Let me learn my restaurants. Let me learn what this is about and all that type of stuff. But with them just being, it's kind of like just broad. Like you can work anywhere, like I said, which is nice. But at the same time, it can be bad, depending. Like it's also how far they take you. That's the other bad thing. But they would definitely need to develop something like that for me to go for them most of the time. Even though I know where to go, I would still like them to kind of implement that, and not schedules, just the regions. And number five would be to up their base pay. It's probably not going to happen, but actually it's going to lower it, because once everybody gets to see the information, at least in my market, I haven't got a pay cut, but I know once it does come to my market, they're going to lower the pay because we can see the total amount. So, but I would definitely like them to up their base pay, because their base pay isn't the worst, at least in my market. We get 60 cents per mile, and you got a drop off fee, pickup fee. I think it's like a 96. I can't remember out the top of my head, but it's somewhere around like $2 for picking up and dropping off. So it's still kind of low. Like I would want us. I'm sorry. I want them to pay us at least more per mile, or just like I said, just upfront tips, or just knowing what tips we're gonna get, which helps us, decide to take that or not, even if you're going kind of far. But I would, yeah, they definitely need to up their base pay, because it's not the best, especially with us not knowing the tips straight in the, once we get the offer. Because with DoorDash and Grubhub, you might have a low base pay, but the customer tip is already included, so you don't have to worry about, I wonder if they're going to tip me or not. And then, like I said, again, it's another crapshoot. So it's better to know all the information up front than to, hope that you get something good. And then number six would be, they need to have better restaurants. Like, their restaurants are fast. That's the good thing. There is positives with, what they're partnered with, but most of them are fast food places, which, if you guys haven't noticed, most of the time, fast food places don't tip that well. Like, they'll tip you sometimes $3, $4. I even got a $6, what's it called, tip with McDonald's. But usually it won't be that good, or it won't be too high, only because it is fast food. It's something, that the customer either gets cheaply, or just, yeah, it's mostly because everything is cheaper. So, they might spend $10 to $15 on their food. They're not going to tip you $5, $6. So, they might tip you $2, $3, even $1. So, you need to get better restaurants, like fancier restaurants. And that way, there's a better opportunity for us to get tipped. It's no guarantee, but with the restaurants that Postmates, yeah, DoorDash and Grubhub have, like, there is a better chance, sorry, that there is actually going to be a tip. Because usually when you see the restaurants, at least from my experience, the restaurants that they take me to, it's very expensive types of foods, and most of these apps, they will up the price of the food. Like, even if it's by a few cents or $1, they will up the amount that they pay for the food. So it's fancier food. It doesn't even have to be a lot of food. It can just be very expensive food, and people will tip better. So they need to work on that a little bit. But yeah, those are the reasons what it would take for me to go Uber Eats full time. And just for the record, I don't plan on going with any of them full time. But I think Uber Eats and Postmates would be the last ones I would think about going full time. There's just too much that they don't give you. So it's not worth it to me, at least. I know some people say it's worth it or they'll make a lot of money with it, but I don't know how many miles you're driving. I don't know your wear and tear. Like, how much are you wasting on gas? How much? It's just, I feel like Uber Eats is just a very big crapshoot. I will use Uber Eats though when it's slow. Like for Christmas Eve, I did use it, and I only got one offer, but I got multiple offers, sorry. But I only took one of them because most of them I was just like, no, I'm not going 10 minutes away to go pick up food. But the one that I did pick up, I had an $8 base pay, and then the customer took me $6, and it didn't take that long. So sometimes it can be good, but that's, like I said, it's just very random. But anyways, thanks guys. So if you liked the video, please subscribe and get a thumbs up. Thank you guys.